Welcome, Will.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks for the welcome. You're welcome.
Happy to be here.
Let's see if I can add a nice little intro here. Oops, you couldn't even hear that. Oh.
Long days fade, work's done at last. Tech talk craze, weeks gone so fast. Jordan and Will, here to ignite. Whoa, flow, thrill in the Friday night. Tune in close.
All right.
Tech talk, true. Deep dive now.
Nice.
Welcome to the Friday Flow. August 16th, we took a couple weeks off. It's kind of like every Friday is when we do this, so this is good. This week, we are going to be talking about traveling and how technology has changed the way we travel. Obviously, we'll be discussing how AI recently has changed travel, but I think we should just start way back before we really had much technology at all in traveling, and traveling was just traveling. Do you remember travel agents? Did you have them?
I think I booked one or two flights when I was in university because there was like a discount if you went into a certain travel agent in the UK and you booked a flight ticket to go internationally. I remember doing that probably when I was like 18 or 19. So yeah, that was fun.
I definitely used them. My family used them. The reason this inspired me is my parents. I was talking to my parents last night. And they're going to Spain in a couple weeks, and they're using a travel agent.
Wow.
And I'm like, where do you even find a travel agent? Like, they don't
AI
exist.
travel agent?
No,
Or
a
like
real travel agent. And my dad's like, she's terrible. Like, she's doing nothing for us. They're booking all their own stuff. Like why does she exist?
What
And now
would
they
you
expect. Yeah, I'm like, this is. I don't understand their role anymore. I do, however, see a lot of travel agents, like physical store, like travel agent stores for cruises. I feel like cruises still have like a significant amount of travel agents. I don't know why, but I see them.
I wonder what that is. They also cruises do a lot of like mail, advertising and like
you can tell their
booklets.
demo. You know that demo of the cruises. So that's the travel agent part. And then when you actually get to your destination, do you remember not having Google Maps?
Yeah. Again, back in university times, I did a bunch of like backpacking travel across Southeast Asia when I was younger, and there was a different time with no mapping really to guide you. We used to use, and I still buy them today for research, is Lonely Planet books.
Yeah.
I find them really awesome for giving you the inside scoop, and they do have little maps in them for where you want.
Nice.
I definitely remember using those when I was younger.
And is the map like, go to the corner where the A&W restaurant is and make a right? And then you get there and you're like, that doesn't exist anymore. It's now a Taco Bell.
I'm sure it probably does.
Useless. I like legit don't remember life before Google Maps. I mean, I do. I just remember, like, I don't think I didn't do a lot of traveling in my definitely not my teens, in my early 20s. I just remember getting lost a lot and having to like go find I guess I had a Nokia cell phone, so I was able to like call somebody and ask them to go to MapQuest on their PC and tell me where I should go. That was kind of like,
exactly. When's the last time you asked a stranger for directions? That's been a while.
I don't even know. And then another super cool thing is Google, obviously Google Translate, but like when I'm in Mexico, this is like when it first came out, is you could like hold your phone up to like a menu or like a sign, and it'll just like in the actual like dimension will actually show you the translation. I was like, that's a pretty big improvement.
Google Lens.
Google Lens, yeah. That was it. What about your first GPT experience traveling? because I know mine and it's incredible.
Yeah, I want to hear your story. I just remember like when you started talking about AI for travel or whatever, that was like the first like example use case that everyone used. They were like, "Oh, I'm going to Japan for a week. Type in like give me an itinerary," and it would come up,
Yep.
and everyone was like blown away. It's like, wow, how did they know these are the things you need to do? So I don't think I've ever really used it for that, but certainly that was like how it was pitched a lot. I remember the 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I'll come back to that because that's basically like the travel agent, right? It's like how do you just have an AI travel agent? I'll come back to that because I have a couple of great examples of that. But my first GPT experience traveling was in Mexico City. It wasn't with the Woflow offsite. It was prior to that. It was when GPT like first came out before many people were using it, and I knew that I wanted to go to this specific bar. I couldn't remember the name of the bar, so I'm gonna have to use a random example. But I was like, okay, there's this weird bar that's like green, and I'm pretty sure it starts with N, like NE or something, and it's near the Frida Kahlo Museum. And I was like, trying to type that into Google. Obviously, that didn't work. And I was like, wait, I'm going to try GPT. So I literally typed that into GPT, and it was like, how about this one? It appears to be green and is 2 blocks from the Frida Kahlo Museum and starts with E. It starts with NE. And it gave it to me. It was the exact one. I was just like, this is incredible.
Insane.
Absolutely insane. Also,
I've tried to use that for remembering a PC game I used to play when I was younger. I was like really trying to remember what it was called. And I tried like 100 ChatGPTs trying to figure it out, and I didn't get it. So for every
So
good
it failed.
example, there's probably some failures as well.
Give me the prompt. Maybe you just aren't a good prompt engineer.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Couldn't prompt it. Well, going back to agents, like travel agents. So a couple of months ago, I stumbled on a site called Wanderboat AI. I'm pretty sure I showed this to you when I found it. And it is exactly what you just described. It's like one of the first like great use cases of GPT. Make me an itinerary of I'm going to Mexico. Make me an itinerary. So actually, I did it for when I went to Portugal. I was in Porto last month, and I actually used it to make me. So I mean, I curated it, but it gave me like the building blocks, and then it actually asked me why I wasn't interested in this specific restaurant, because I said no, I don't want to go there, and it actually was able to like use what I told it, and it gave me some new recommendations, and it was a great mesh between like text and UI components. So like you type something out, and it'd give you like 5 restaurants, but it would give it to you in a really nice UI, and it had some buttons in there. It was like, I like this, I don't like this, check, make reservations, etc. And so I actually went through like this whole flow, and it made me a pretty solid itinerary. It told me where to go for like port tasting, why I should go to those. I wanted to find some trendy coffee shops that are not Starbuckses, and it kind of knew it, and it worked pretty well. And then in the end, it gave you like a really nice itinerary. So it is like the best of travel agents without having to spend money and find out that you have a shitty travel agent.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm on their website right now. They also have that features you're talking about. They also have just a chat on there. So wanderboat.ai/chat. You can use a chat interface. So I guess it's like ChatGPT, but then they're gonna do some like link outs and
Yeah.
add in some
Yeah, it's
extra
pretty
stuff.
cool.
Kind of like Perplexity. Everyone's kind of merging a little bit. It's definitely like a
Yeah.
niche of like Perplexity, but
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, well, I guess, I mean, just general search. OpenAI have their own search now. I don't think it's out, right? I think maybe it's in beta.
Yeah, it's beta. You
I'm
got to
looking
get
for
on the
it,
wait
yeah.
list. I'm still waiting, but
Oh, nice.
I have,
I'm pretty sure I put my name on the wait list, but for some reason you always get, even if I put my name in first, you always get accepted before me. It's so annoying. Like Waymo and Cruise.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was annoying.
I think I'm 3-0 for getting early acceptance, but
Yeah, so I'm annoyed.
We'll see if this one is the same. Yeah, I think with AI, it is interesting, like moving away from kind of like Google's PageRank algo to this more exploratory, hallucinogenic, potentially like results that are happening with LLM results. I wonder if it's like better or not. So you're saying like, give me an itinerary of 3 days in Japan. Is the LLM like finding the TripAdvisor blog posts that say what to do, or like how is it quite amalgamating this information? It definitely makes sense that you can say, well, I like doing these kind of things, and it's going to change it. It's going to make it more interesting than the Google PageRank like ever could, because unless someone wrote a blog post that's like microbrewery fanatics tour of Japan, then you're probably not going to get the same quality of results as you would using an LLM. So it's definitely
I've actually read that blog post.
I think you wrote it.
I wrote it, yeah.
Yeah, so like, I don't know what's like objectively better. Like, are the best blog posts still like the best way to do that? And this actually had me thinking a little bit as well of like what another direction that I see this is you, like thinking about AI and travel is right now we're actually like planning a trip to Japan, and what we see a lot of, because I think a huge part of travel is eating, right? Especially when it's somewhere that's well known for its cuisine. So things like TikTok and Instagram, mine is now like full of like, these are the must try like ramen shops in Kyoto, and so many people make this kind of influency stuff, but it's some really interesting pieces in there. Is this better? Is this different to those like original like blogs that were probably just like there to be SEO for Google PageRank? Are these like gonna be better than the LLMs because it's still got a human that's kind of curating that experience? I don't know, but it's a very interesting sort of change. And then the algorithm at Instagram's giving me this stuff because I've searched for one or two of these, and now it's now their AI that's influencing my trip to Japan. So it gets pretty meta, but I think it's super interesting.
Yeah, very meta. No umbrella pun intended. So I have a couple thoughts on that. One is there's actually a company that came out or launched today that is specifically for food. This is why I like this show when we have no actual objectives, because we're just going to spiral on some weird tangent right now about food. So there's a company that launched today, I forget the name of it, but it's basically doing what Instagram and TikTok do for food, specifically for food. So it's like for a restaurant, if you upload a video of you eating their food and like making like a TikTok-ish video, they actually give you a discount on your next meal. So it's kind of like the incentive. And I find myself saving, and Caitlin sends me like videos all the time. I send her videos all the time of food, of like people just eating like ridiculously good looking food in San Francisco. And I'm like, oh my God, I've never heard of that place, and that looks bomb. And I'd for sure go. So you're right, it totally influences me to go to those places. So this one company is basically taking that and trying to make like an entire app that's just that. But at the same time, like, is that actually something that I wanted? Like, am I going to be spending time on that? Probably not. I'm spending time on Instagram and TikTok, so that's where my eyes already are. So I'll probably get more benefit if it just continues on like the TikTok, Instagram route.
Yeah, it's almost like a shout out to Richard Wu for his early startup, but it's what is the new version of Yelp? Because you do still, yes, you'll go to TikTok or Instagram, and food will be a category that you're interested in on those like more general apps. But there still is like a time and a place where you'll go to Yelp, right, to actually get reviews for restaurants and things. So, yeah, I find it interesting. No one's quite nailed it yet. A lot of people want to. I'm sure there's probably a bunch of apps that are trying to be like video first for food. with any of these, it only really works when you get to critical mass. So you have to be massively mass market, which is why it's such an allure to like launch this kind of app, because it seems so obvious. But you actually only really are successful when you've got to huge usage, and you can have enough consumers, but also producers or influencers or whatever creating that content. So yeah, it's like a bit of a chicken or egg kind of problem to try and fix, but I'm definitely sure that the future version of Yelp will eventually be successfully created by someone, and it will be video first in this current generation.
Or maybe Yelp will get their shit together and just start adding their own little TikTok-ish videos. I can't believe they haven't. I cannot believe they haven't. It's pretty wild.
Yeah,
all right, well, I'm gonna leave you with one question, and I'll answer it myself as well.
Oh, nice.
For the last question, what is the last restaurant you attended because you were influenced by a TikTok video?
Ooh. Give me yours, because you sound like you have one while I think.
I'm pretty sure it's called The Rabbit Hole. Rabbit Hole? Yep, The Rabbit Hole. And actually, now that I think about it, I haven't been there, but I'm gonna go there this weekend. I've been trying to go there, but every time I try to go there, someone like forces me to go somewhere else. Because a lot of my friends are like, if it's not broken, don't fix it, and so they just go to the same places. I want to check out some new ones.
There you go. Well,
what do you think?
So mine actually was yesterday, and it was a little bit based on an idea that I wanted. And I was like, I know I've seen a reel about this before. So I went on Instagram and typed in like SF rooftop bars. And then there was obviously a real video that showed some of those bars. And we went to one, we took a client there last night to Charmaine's. So,
oh, yeah. That's one
Charmaine's
place
because of a reel yesterday.
Love that. I actually haven't been there yet. Crazy.
It's great.
I know. I've also seen it on Instagram like 100 times, so I have to go there. Awesome. Well, thanks, Will, and thanks everyone for tuning in to a quick little Friday flow. This one was on traveling in the age of AI, in the age of technology. There's so many other things that we didn't talk about. Obviously, with traveling, I just didn't want to dive down TSA security hole. There's so much crazy stuff. But anyway, it was a good little tip of the iceberg. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy Friday. And
happy Friday, everybody. And if you have any recommendations for my trip to Japan this year, then please let me know, because otherwise I'm just going to be going off influencers and ChatGPT, and who knows if I'll actually have a good time or not.
I think you will. I think you should become an influencer.
While I'm in Japan.
Yes. Perfect. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, Jordan. Thanks, everybody. Happy Friday Flow.
Let's go. Friday Flow. Wait. Where's the music?
Welcome to the Friday Flow.
Oh.
With Jordan and Will.
Let's overlay.
This is how you know we're doing it real time.
Welcome to the Friday Flow with Jordan and Will. Let's go.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Losing all the trends. Tune in now with your